Ah, yes. Back again. Town Philly back again. Coffee Break with JN is back again with a little weather. Weather. New Jack Swing. Coffee Break with JN and my caffeines. You know who you are, caffeines. Um, Frid's regulars, not decaf. With Coffee Break with JN. Going off, not too hard. Pause, not too soft. Well, hello, guys. Welcome back. I love that we make magic. Well, hello. Yes. Hi. Hello. Yo, I am being blessed. What's up with my head? Guys, all right. Let me clear the screen. Let's just get to it. Let's just get to it because, guys, uh, I wear many hats, right? I have a lot. Do, 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 do. 3 point, 3 point Tom Zoller. What up? I wear many hats, and it's like one, I bought a batch of white bucket hats at one point, and they were like too big. Pause. Right. So it's kind of like if you guys have been hanging around me for a long time, you see the baby picture. Hold on. You see the baby picture. I've been wearing bucket hats my whole life. My whole life. And Manly posted this picture. We were in the diner. This is like 12 years ago. And I had this like stingy like fisherman hat on. And I was trying to make it work. And it was kind of like Pooh Bah 2.0. Like you had all the parts, but it just wasn't ready. And I feel like because I don't know, guys, maybe we could just start here. We can start here. Anybody in here? We're going to do an early ones and twos because I think all of us big brain people. Pause. I'll share some similar statistics. Anybody in this room that is part of the BHC Big Head Club? No pause on that. If you have a giant head, put a one in the chat. If you got a normal head, put a two in the chat. Guys, I have a big head. I've always had a big head. Let's just call it what it is. And I like sometimes I like when I'm a man about town, a man in the know. Once in a while, I'm somewhere, and somebody's like, "Hey, let's take a selfie." We take a selfie, and it's almost like they got like doll hands head, like they're these tiny little heads. I have this giant balloon head, and I'm like, "Is that real?" But when I have to go buy a hat, like I can't, I can't. It just I can't. Right? There's a lot of weds up in here. Hey, Caitlin, good to see you. Oh, so you have a tiny head? Okay, all right. Wow. Yeah, Jared D says I can't wear those hats with the snapback. That fit everyone. Yeah, my joint used to be struggling. It would be like the R. Kelly bit. I'm fighting for my life. That last snap on a trucker cap was like, hold, Hodor on that last snap on a trucker cap. I was just like, yo, is this what Christmas is all about? I know something was wrong. That's crazy. Well, Tom, you do have luxurious hair. But yeah, man, this is just kind of okay. So anyway, let me finish my story. Yeah, what up, Chris? Shout out to Comic Trips. Comic Trips says drink more coffee. Are you suggesting that I'm hyped? I'm hyped up. Um, so hold on one second. So anyway, my thing was like years later in my hat getting. Because hold on a second. We're fighting for airtime around here. Um, I answer this question all the time because people are like, "Yo, what's up with the hat?" You see me without a hat. I have hair. I have hair on my head. The dreads aren't attached to the hat. I like the fashion of a hat. I think a hat will accentuate an outfit. I think sometimes it's the perfect one to set it off with, right? And that's just how I get down. So finally, when the internet evolved to a point where I was just like, "Yo, how come I can?" Like I used to order hats online, or you go to a place, you're like, "Oh, that's the perfect hat." You put it on, and it's just like sitting on the top. I'm like, "Damn it!" And finally, this is like I don't remember what year this was, but I was just like, I wonder if there's a online store that has hats for big headed dudes. And hell, the place might have been called Big Hats, BigHeads.com or something like that. Pause. And they had they had the white bucket. And it's very specific, right? I don't know it's not a brand, but it's a very specific. It's not a fisherman hat. It's not a boonie hat. There's no like I don't have to cut off the little John that goes around like the Jungle Brothers off the little John around the neck. It's not a Gilligan hat. And I used to correct some of y'all. I told you correct your actions, fix your face. When somebody tried to call me Gilligan, I was like, get out of here with that. It's his own thing. It's not a Kango. Like a terry cloth Kango is very like, you look like the police commissioner and you wearing a terry cloth Kango. So this is a very specific JN thing. So at one point I found this hat and it wasn't cheap because usually hats are like one size fit all, which is a lie, or there's like I don't know, medium large, and then there's like a large XL. None of those fit me, y'all. You know what I mean? I'm built different. So anyway, I finally found his hat. It was perfect. Then I was like, I think I need to get some more of these. And one time, I think I bought some, and they were too big because I didn't like write down what the size was that I got. So hold on, it's an actual bucket. Yo, Chris is being spicy tonight. Jamar, you look good in hats, but how about stepping up to wearing helmets? See, come on, comic tropes. You catch the vibe here at Coffee Break. It's all love. Let's go back to this chat. So we had wow, Dakota said I can wear my child's baseball cap. So I used to knew my this is before I had dreadlocks, so that was a long time ago. It's back when I was in art school. Um, for all of you athletics people out there, you know that brand Mitchell and Ness. Another Philly homegrown spot. Mitchell and Ness was down the street from my school, and that place was so bougie. Like they ain't let us in. They're like, "Yo, can we help you?" I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to get that fitted. Nah, but that was like right about the time where the Negro League stuff was hot, and I was getting into like old school. Hold on a second. Come on. I was like collecting old school fitted Negro League hats, like the Cuban X Giants and all those joints. And that was right at the time I had like little Boston Fern baby dreads, and I could just kind of, I could, I was, ju- I think I was probably like a 7 3/4 or something like that. It was kind of like at the very edge of that. And I think somebody tried to roast me and was like, yo, that hat ain't really working, bro. It's real, right? So, but anyway, this all started because I feel like this hat is like either that or my face is shrinking. is just like too big for my britches. All right, so I just jumped right into it, guys. Welcome to Coffee Break with JN. Oh, where's my branding? Um, by now, you should know that Coffee Break with JN is on your video scope every other Thursday at 9 p.m. EST. Pencil to Pencil is every Wednesday, 8 p.m. EST. And I love that our numbers are up, you guys. This is great. If you're feeling the love on Pencil to Pencil and you're just like, yo, who is that? Who's that cool cat in the upper left square? Yo, that's JN. Yo, I want to see more of him. How can I do that? Well, you come to the right place, my friend. Not only am I handsome, but I also have a charisma of 16 with a +3 modifier, JRD. Let's do some hellos. I saw a whole lot of superstars up in his chat. Let's welcome them in. I see always first, number one with a bullet. No, no, notorious, Rios. What up, JRD? Yo, I see Chris. I saw Dakota. I expect nothing less from the Baroness. Well, the Baroness of the P and Dubs. I saw TZ. What up, Tom? I see Sean Chai. What's up? Greetings from the land down under. Sean Chai, what time is it in Australia right now? And if you're not in Australia, I apologize. I thought that was your gimmick. Robert, great to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in on your video scope for all of this JNN Jamar Nicholas Network programming. I'm very happy that you become part of our thing here. I remember when I asked you to be on the show, and you're like, "Who are you?" But you see how rich the content here is on this channel. So I'm glad that you're around. Yo, Bill, what up? Yo, first let's get a sipper. Bill takes my first sipper slot. First sip of the evening for my man Bill O'Donnell. Really solid dude. How are you, sir? Good to see you. Let's see who else is here. I don't want to skip anybody. I saw Caitlin. Hello, Caitlin. Good to see you too. Who else is here? There's some lurkers in here. I saw Comic Tropes. What up, Chris? Shout out to my man Chris, holding it down. One of my favorite YouTube channels. If you're like, wait, like, yep, that's him. I told you, all type of superstars up in the JNN Jamar Nicholas Network. So hello, sir. Welcome. Chris says, I feel like I don't look good in hats, sadly. See, that's real. Like I don't know, I've never seen you wear a hat, but it's beyond finding the right hat for your head type. Pause. Your face, your eyes, nose, mouth triangle is a very important thing. You know, some people it's just not for them, and I respect that. And I'm sure you've seen people who look like have a try hard hat, like a Jamiroquai dude who's like, I guess I'm gonna wear this funny hat. I'm like, bro, take the hat off. This is great. I saw on some reel. I think it was one of those pop the balloon shows. I don't know how we got here. I don't know how we got to this timeline, you guys. But if you haven't seen those pop the balloon things, it's exactly what it sounds like. I guess it's a dating game where either it's a bunch of guys who are standing in line in a white studio, like everything is just like whited out in the background, and they're all holding a balloon. And then the host brings out, I guess, the first person, and let's just say it's a lady. So this lady walks out, and immediately people start popping their balloons. So then I guess that means you're out, right? So then the host starts asking them like, "Why'd you pop your balloon?" And then they just start like judging each other. And I've not really sat down and watched a whole one of those, but I kind of feel like we're in a dark timeline if that's how we're doing dating shows. But anyway, I swear somebody was on there, some dude, and he had on a hat, and the lady, it was like she was picking a dude, and she was like, "Yo, what's up with that hat?" And he was like, "Nah, you know what I mean? Nah, this is just like my thing." She was like, "Take the hat off," and he was like, "Uh, I don't really want to." So then he took it off, and I don't know, I can't remember. I think his hairline was fine, or she was looking for the edge up, and somebody said, "Yo, you're about to get hat fished." Oh my god. So, guys, hat fishing is when somebody is wearing a hat under false pretenses, trying to make you think that it's not like, because I think a lot of ladies wear a hat because they're having a bad hair day, right? Oh, I'm gonna throw this on and go to the store or whatever like that. I don't know how we talked about hats for like 20 minutes, but yo, July, yo, it may be May, but it's always July when my man Julian Lytle's in the building. What up, July? July says, "Hey everyone, I only wear New Era fitteds, 5950 all day, 7 to 5 to 8. Do they make them that big?" Pause. Yo, if I knew, well, you know what? I don't like flat brims. I never. That's like I checked out right before that became a thing. Because what they call them now. Because back in the day we used to you had to curl that brim, right? And now they call those, I think they'll call those dad hats. Like if you wear a hat, then the brim is like curled down. They call those dad hats. But like those flat brims, I can't do it. Hold. Talking about snaps, Jared D says, "Yeah, on me that last trucker hat snap is Toby Maguire holding the trays." Oh, that's fantastic. Comic Tropes, JRD Comics, Chris, JRD's giving you some love in the chat for your latest episode of Comic Tropes. Dakota said, "Oh, the Blossom hat." That was when Blossom was wearing those kind of like floppy hats with the sunflower hat pin in them. And I think that came from LL Cool J when he was in the Mama Said Knock You Out era, and he was wearing like a leather kind of Dr. Seuss hat. I'm not going to say I didn't own one of those because I did. I briefly had a Blossom hat phase that I only partook of because everyone thought I looked like Blossom. Did you do the Blossom dance? The knobby knee dance? Dakota says, "Generally speaking, my ears stick out too far, and I think the only way I can wear a hat is if I do Vulcan ears." I think that's just I don't know. I just feel like that maybe just be in your head. Roger, what up, Roger? Good to see you. I'm a big head, 7 to 5/8 or 7 to 3/4. Yes, I like it. Yo, Bros, what up, Bros? Yeah, you real respect to Mitchell and Ness flagship store was so cool. It moved at some point. Because when I was in school, it was like down an alley, like near 13th, and now I think it's somewhere else. But that place was cool. Like if you guys remember, for my wrestling fans, the Thugonomics John Cena era where he was just wearing throwbacks all the time. A lot of that stuff was Mitchell and Ness. They were cleaning up, and those jerseys were not cheap. Like a legit throwback jersey could be like five honey easy. Johnny Fitz, what's that? Welcome to the chat. I like a low key Lopez. Johnny Fitz says, "How are you, a wise one?" I am well. I was looking forward to tonight. It was always lovely to catch up with you guys. Yeah, uh, Chris is having some caffeine right now in solidarity. Now I know this isn't for everyone, guys. This isn't for everyone. I remember I might not have been Chris, but somebody jumped on here. It's always somebody who's new to Coffee Break who comes on here and is just like, "Yo, you drinking coffee at 9 o'clock EST?" Yeah, If I could not handle the coffee, I would not be drinking coffee at 9 o'clock EST. But lest you forget, dear caffeines, I'm a cartoonist. Like, our circadian rhythms are always off. We're all night owls. We're all nocturnal animals. We're midnight marauders. Because at night we maraud for ears. So yes, Sunshine says it's 11:20 in the morning in Sydney right now. I would love to visit Australia. Sunshine, what are some of the things that people get wrong about Australia? Australia. Uh, this is Sunshine says also, and of course it's tomorrow here, and you guys are going to love Friday this week. Marty, we got to do something about your kids. Um, so this is funny talking about Australia real quick. So a lot of you guys know that I'm a big retro video game enthusiast. I don't know if I can call myself a gamer at this point because I don't really game. I love the industry. I love collecting old stuff. If any of you guys have old video games just taking up space in your closet, please donate them my way. I will gladly take them. And but there's a lot of like video game YouTubers, and the scene has changed and it's kind of died down. But there was like a lot of man cave YouTubers who just like, this is my man cave, and here is my copy of this that I got here or whatever. So there's this guy from Australia uh, named The Last Gamer. That was his YouTube name, and he kind of disappeared. But I think he had the Guinness World Record for a while for having the largest video game collection. And the funny thing about him is just like, you know, if you've ever amassed anything, people just assume that you're rich, but people don't. Jared, you saw the iceberg I put on the screen earlier. If you are a lover of things or a collector of things, 9 times out of 10, you've probably been doing it for a really long time and probably have a lot of stuff to show for it. But then when you shock and awe somebody, like, what was it, the memes from 50 Shades of Grey, where the guy's standing in front of the door and he goes like, I want to show you something, but I need you to be ready. Are you ready? She's like, yes, I'm ready. And the guy opens the door, and then it cuts to a bunch of dudes playing Dungeons and Dragons. Right? People they don't really want to see your collection, and it doesn't matter. It could be a giant floating question mark. It doesn't matter what your thing is. But anyway, so this guy amassed like giant collections of video games, and he was kind of like a completist too. There's a couple of dudes who are like this, who say, this is the entire American Nintendo Entertainment System collection. This is every game. Over here, there's in television. This is every game. Everything's in boxes with like shiny little protectors on it. And then this guy had an arcade in the back of his room, not like a couple of like afterburners. Like he had a full ass arcade that he built and rebuilt and restructured and rebuilt his house. And you would watch his family just smile and wince as he just kept adding and adding and adding. And then he kind of disappeared. But shout out The Last Gamer. All right, let's get this going. Oh yeah, they did that on Saturday Night Live. Yeah, Suze has entered the chat. Kachunk, hello. Hey Suze, we gotta do a Suze. I've been on a Suze pose in a long time, so I'm glad to see you. Dr. Bezo Weezo, yo, welcome to Coffee Break with JN. Are you new to the live stream? Let us know. Roger, see, Roger knows. I'm not sure people would recognize me without a hat. Yeah, so it's funny that I've been around forever, uh, and I just like hats. If it's cold out, I got the beanie on. For this, I had a flat back, not a flat back, like an Andy Cap joint. Yeah, I like hats. Yeah, that's right. Get a nice curl, right? That's right. Oh man. So Julian says dad hats aren't fitted and more low profile, but they got the curl though, right? Wow. Robert says I have James Cagney's hat from the movie Kiss Tomorrow Goodbye. That was like an old school fedora, right? Or a trilby. Trilby's had a moment. Like when remember the Zoot Suit riot? Remember they tried to bring swing back? Not the new swing with the pineapples, not that kind of swing. Like, like the Gap commercials when everybody's doing the Lindy Hop, that kind of swing. And you know what? The trilby, if you know what I'm talking about, a fedora is like a gentleman's hat, but a trilby is a little like smaller. Um, like the like Clarence Beaks in Trading Places had on the trilby. They have kind of the trilby has been kind of shot to death uh, for I guess what would you call them like neckbeards or whatever who were like tipping their hat, "Milady, milady intensified." Sue says snapback brims. Those flat brims are interesting. Yeah, like that's just not my twist. Chris says, okay, about the defensive one, I'm sure, but why wear a baseball hat backwards? What's the point? You ain't still loading it over the top. Well, see, I think that, you, I think that could be, I'll say cultural very, very lightly, delicately. I know that had its moment when we were going through the rock rap thing, like with Limp Biscuit and all those dudes. They all had backwards fitteds on. Um, but I don't know. I don't. You don't. I don't. I don't see that the way I used to see that. I don't want to say it's out of favor, but like hood dudes ain't turning their hat backwards unless they're about to fight you. Like we talked about this once before. When those remember those hood pranks videos were all over the internet, and they'll have these like scrawny dudes running through Brooklyn, like just messing with people. And they ran up on this one dude. This dude was giant, giant dude wearing a Yankees jersey, and he had to fit it on. And the dude was like, "Hey man, blah blah blah." He got a little too close to that dude. He turned his hat around and just like caved his face in. So that's like a telltale. Somebody's turning their hat around. Be wary. If you're engaging with a young lady and things are getting heated and they go to start taking their earrings off, you need to leave. You've been warned. Don't let the Vaseline come out. Pause. Yo, I call Shogun. Yo, we're still doing intros. It's like 40 minutes in. Right? I understand. You know what? One thing that I don't get, I don't get people who wear. I think this is a cultural thing. Who wear their sunglasses on the back of their neck. There's a lot of hat hate in here. Let's see if anybody else showed up. Bill says thoughts on the emulator arcade cabinets, aka the Raspberry Retro Pi. I think the okay. All right, so let's talk about that last gamer guy real quick. I'm not going to talk too much about video games because I actually wanted to talk about something tonight. So I'm in like a couple of Facebook groups, and like say it's like OG Xbox collectors or something like that, and somebody might do a flex photo. Hey guys, look, I have the entire um, USA complete video game collection of the original Xbox. Then some guy goes into the chat and goes, "Yo, you can put it all on a Raspberry Pi." Yeah, we know that. I think it's a very specific type of person who just wants to have everything on like a little thumb drive and people that want to experience like original hardware. Right? So I'm kind of like original guy. Like I want to play NES. I don't want to play it on my phone. I want to and put it in the John, right? Bros knows about that. Like I want to play on original hardware. Yeah, you can get a Pi, but I also think there's a thing where you get frozen by uh, was it choice paralysis. There's too much stuff. You'll never enjoy any of it because you have too much of it all at one time. Oh well, yeah. Yeah. Let me know how I can help. Yeah, word up. Those arcade cabs are sick. Oh yeah. Well, you know what? We can get the shipping in order. You can send them here. So Sean Chai is going to give us an Australia walkthrough real quick. Not a walkabout, a walkthrough. Things people get wrong. Probably wildlife. I mean, I haven't nearly stepped on that many deadly snakes or leaned up against that many deadly spiders. That's so funny. Uh, Milady. Wow, we went back in time. Scotty Beckett and the Little Rascals wore his hat backwards. I mean, that's definitely a thing. I don't think that thing exists the way it used to, but I think it's just a style thing. Yeah, you're in trouble. And also, I know in certain places, I know in Chicago, there used to be hat rules. Like it was kind of like gang stuff. Like you never wore your hat broke off. Like say if you wore it a certain way, that meant you were affiliated. So be careful. Sunshine says wearing a baseball cap backwards keeps it out of my eyes, which can freak me out sometimes, while still keeping the back of my neck protected from the sun, so I don't get heat stroke. Bra says I wear a slouch dad hat when I'm wearing it, mostly because my hair is a mess. Yo, Bill, yo, what's up with over the top? Like, that's so funny. Right. Shogun says somebody knows enough to take off the dangly bits. It's going to wreck you. Yes. Yeah, Chris, we talked about this not too long ago about the return of physical media. Chris says it's like having streaming movies, TV on demand versus actual DVDs or Blu-rays, right? Um, like for anybody that knows about Plex, and Plex was dope. Like Plex is still around. It's just kind of like a online media server thing. Like remember when people were getting XBMC? Like you're trying to figure out how to run your stuff off your laptop through the whole house. But Plex, like a lot of people just kind of like burn or whatever and put all of their movies on like an external on a hard drive and stream it. So if you have the access to your buddy's Plex, you can watch everything. It's almost like a private Netflix. And Plex is just getting a little wise to that, and like now you have to pay if you want to look at anybody else's libraries. Like, come on, bruh. I knew that was too good to be true. Talking about fighting, Dakota says we had a couple of ladies get into a screaming match when we were in the office, and one of them took off their wig. Yo, get out of there! And we're like, oh shit! I can just see Dakota and everybody like doing the lean like in Friday. Damn! Yeah, yeah. Call security. Secure. My next generation. More security. We need more security. That's funny. Yeah, be careful, man. Don't test people. And that's another thing is, you know, my mama gave me that chain. Like, here's my thing, because it's wild outside. I've said on record a lot over the years is that the internet has emboldened people to just say spicy shit and think there's no recompense for what they say. I'm from a place where you just can't be talking greasy to people because that there's actions there's actions and opposite reactions to that. Not that dude, I'm not a tough guy, but I got to get gray hair, so that means I know something. What chain? Right. So I've been in the position over my years to be in spaces that not a lot of people get to be. I've also seen people who were totally out of their element, thinking that their world's rules work on everybody else's world. Meaning, if you come from a place where you just say stuff to people and you don't pay for it, that's not a good matchup when you're like on a street somewhere in South Philly and you decided to say the wrong thing to the wrong person. As a case in point, I just saw this video and I think it was, I don't remember where I saw it, but it might have been on Instagram. And it was I guess it was like a tourist or some sort of like not from here guy. I think he might have been European. And he was in some food spot in Harlem. And he was getting real active with the people behind the counter. And they were like, hey, yo, you need to relax. And he was like, look, I'm just trying to get my chicken, my guy. And the owner came from around the corner. He's a big dude. He was like, yo, look, respectfully, I'm gonna let you know you're in Harlem right now. And your words, your, your words matter when you're addressing people here. You show respect, you get respect. So I'm gonna give you a chance to fix this. He was like, now I can serve you in a couple of ways. So you make that choice. And like he kind of like tapped him with he tapped him in the chest, like, you see what I'm saying? Then he tapped him on the shoulders, like, okay, now you hungry? What do you want to eat? And the guy was like, you saw the beach ball spinning. And then he was like, I'm sorry. Yes. Like you fix that. Because it's not cool. Street violence is not cool. Yo, you in Harlem right now. You know what I'm saying? People think that stuff is funny until it's not. So be careful. Case in point, what chain? So speaking of Plex, Jared D says, Plex is great. I have so many movies that even at 1K in my library, I'm still only 10% done. But it saves me so much time looking for stuff to watch. But you have to take the time to like set it up, right? Because talk about slap fights. So, all right, before we run out of time, I gotta be careful. I was about to drink all this coffee. I wanted to talk to you guys about a very important topic. I need that special graphic. This is going to be another ones and twos, you guys. I don't do this often. We're going back to the well, you guys. Let's do it again. Ones and twos, you guys. Now I know we live, especially for the younger folks, we live in a world of going on your phone and pressing a button and food shows up at your house. I know for some of my gray beards who have older children who are like, yeah, enough with the DoorDash. Like, go cook yourself something to eat because McDonald's shouldn't cost $50. I'm going to ask you a question, and I'm going to try to put this in a good way. Maybe this is before the ones and twos. All right, before the ones and twos is at this point in your life, do you enjoy going out to eat? Put a one in the chat. At this point in your life, would you rather would you get takeout from, I'll just say like this is getting too complicated already, a mid road restaurant. Like what I mean by that is like Longhorn, Bonefish Grill, any place that when you look at the bill, it might be $100 without trying too hard. Would you get takeout from one of those places? Put a two in the chat. 3 in the chat. Are you just like a straight DoorDash puff? Uh, what is it? What's the other joint? Grubhub, Uber Eats person. Or 4, I ain't trying to spend no money. Yo, we got McDonald's at home. Put those in the chat. I already forgot what I said. While you guys are doing that, Sean Choi says, this reminds me of something I was thinking about the other day where words mean different things in different places. Like sir or ma'am in the US respectful. And in Ozland, it's an invitation to fight. Really? Yo, when I come through, you gotta be my attaché so I don't get killed. Shogun says it's all fun and games. So, oh shit, the guy's triceps bigger than my face. Got to be more careful. I see a one. Wait, what was one? I already forgot what one was. Oh, do you like to go out to eat? Robert is takeout. Wait, damn it! I forgot. I already forgot what we were doing. So was 2. You never take out from expensive restaurants. Damn it! Yo, pause. Yo, we got McDonald's at home. I know Bill's king of meal prep. Sean Shy is all about the grub hubs. Nakota says 1 but 4 because we live too far out for DoorDash and delivery. Okay. Jared D says I ran restaurants, so I try to avoid eating out as much as possible. Pause. Unless I'm craving fried food like fish and chips or ketsi. Plus, it's so much more expensive these days. That's what I was getting at. Sugar says, LMAO, DoorDash. Out here, DoorDash is what you do when you see a cougar. Jennifer Coolidge is outside. Nakota says, 1 was going out. Thank you. I need a cheat sheet. 1 was going out. 2 was takeout. 3 was get food at home. And 4 was you never eat out. Robert says, I'm 77 and I do not go out to dinner very much. Now, shout out to the diner. I miss the diner. We talked about this before. Diner culture is dying. I think New Jersey is still like the diner king. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like, yo, I just want to meet up with somebody. Let's have a coffee. One of my boys is like, yo, man, my girl, like, let's go to the diner. Like, I miss the diner. Yeah. Jardy says, I never DoorDash because it costs the restaurants 40% or more of the total cost. Jesus. When we do eat out, we try to support mom and pops. We went to that banh mi spot, right? Or deli. What up, E? Eric says, mostly 4, occasionally 1 or 2, never DoorDash. I have never DoorDash. I don't even have the apps on my phone. I've done Uber. I've done Uber Eats, but I didn't have it delivered. I just ordered it, and then I went and picked it up. Sue says, we went out to dinner tonight, but somebody else paid for it. Ha! Yeah, there's something special about diners. Sean Choi says, 2 or 3, I don't want to spend money, but with my health at the moment, I just don't have the energy to cook most of the time, and I don't like eating in noisy places. Yes. Dakota says, I love Greasy Spoon so much. There was an epic diner by Boeing in Seattle that closed, and it was amazing. Bill says, New Jersey is a super dense and diverse food culture, but man, a good diner omelet is hard to turn down. Shout out to Disco Fries. Shout out to Disco Fries. I know Gallagher felt a disturbance in the forest. Yo, is that you Bill Murray? I am. Yo, what are you doing in this diner, Bill Murray? I knew I was gonna get Bill O'Donnell sprung. Oh, Robert, you went back in time. Too bad the automat is not around anymore. If I get my lore correct, because also I remember there were places like that in old Philadelphia. No disrespect by saying old, like Horn and Haddart. where you'd go in and you'd put a coin in the slot, pause, and lift up the thing and pull a full ass sandwich out of there. Wasn't there a place like that? Wasn't like CC's, or there was a chain that kind of did that automated food in the dawns, right? Shogun says, "I love automats. I do have them anyway because I've never been to one." JRD says, "We have a great diner near us, but it's like $75." Yeah, come on. Yeah, yeah, Ross. Like, yeah, Michael sucks. I was right. Hornet Hatter. Nakota says, "I was once went to a Schneider Trucking Company hub thing in Carlisle. Shout out to Carlisle, PA. I was just there last year. It was basically a giant automat and was the best thing ever." So the reason I brought this up was I haven't ordered takeaway in a long time. Just been trying to save money. Just trying to, like, we eat at home. We just try to keep it. You know what I mean? And sometimes we'll try to, like, break up the monotony by getting like one of those food service things like Factor. Shout out to Factor. They need to give me a sponsorship. I love Factor meals. This shit is delicious. I love it, Robert. Um, and so, we're feeling kind of like, all right, let's just order something. And I was like, and I personally don't like people coming to my house. I'm so old school. I'd rather order it and go get it. It gets me out of the house. I've been in the house all day. You know what, you guys, I live in this chair. So I'm like, it'll give me a reason to get up. I'll go. So I'm driving up into the town, uh, near where I live. And all of a sudden, near the hospital, the street light is out. And there's like a cop in the middle of the street directing traffic. I was like, oh, okay. Go up to the next block. There's another cop, traffic. So then I'm like, this doesn't feel good. I pull up into the parking lot of the spot. The power's out. And I'm like, are you kidding? It was just like on auto delay. Like, the power's out. So I'm like, oh man. So this is the first, I'm going to do the first kind of stop in the story because I have horrible honeydew luck. And if you know what a honeydew is, and I probably told Ross this back in the day because we used to hang around the office when I was running the office. You know about your honeydew list, right, JRD? You need to go to the store and he needs this, that, this, and this, and don't forget to pick that up. That's your honeydew this, honeydew that list. I have the worst luck where, like, say, on, I'll give an example. You go to the store and get well, go to the store, get 2 boxes of strawberry jello. All right. I know exactly where shit is because I'm an adult. I go to the baking aisle. There's the raspberry, lemon, lime, cherry, and then there's just a giant cavern where the strawberry jello is supposed to be. What do you mean they're out of strawberry jello? That is my luck. Every time I have to go get something, they don't have it. There was one time. Oh no, is that real? Oh no, don't tell wifey. Don't tell her. That's right. It's open. Matt, you get it. This is what, I really would like some ice cream. All right, I'm gonna go to the Baskin Robbins. I pull up, the lights are off. What's going on? Oh, no, it wasn't. One time the power was out, but one time I went in there and they just had they had handwritten signs on the case. We're out of ice cream. So I get to this thing. And I was like, of course the power is out. And I ordered, and I didn't even call. I ordered online. So like all the worker people are just sitting out on the front step on their phones, and I was just like, yo, I don't want to be that dude, but I just I kind of I ordered online, and they're looking at me like this guy. I'm like, no, hear me out. I ordered online. I'm just wondering, maybe they made the food before the power went out, and they're just like, I don't know, man. Go in. So I go in. I can't get anybody's attention. There's just still people in there eating, using their phones to eat. So finally, I go back out to the dudes. I was like, "Yo, can one of you guys help me in here?" All right, all right, all right. Yeah, I put in an order. What's the number? And I hold up my phone. Oh, okay. Hold on. He comes out with my stuff. Yes. Shout out Keith Knight. That was a tiny victory. And any other time, that never would have worked, because all I'm thinking now is like, well, now what am I going to do? Because that's my luck. Yeah, but yo, that's real. Yo, we ate that. we, we ate your we ate your Mexican flag. Now, this is like, I don't think this is apropos. I didn't name this dish, but my favorite dish at this Mexican spot is the Mexican flag. It's three enchiladas with a red sauce, a white sauce, and a green sauce. Um, sorry. I like, but I don't have the right banners up here. I need to put, but the Froger is also cursed at the bottom of the screen. That's so funny. That's right. Burn it down. Sean Chai says, "Oh, sure. Before I moved, I always walked for takeout, but there's nowhere walking distance for me anymore and can't drive. But if you can walk, would definitely recommend it over delivery." All right, so this is really what I was trying to get at. What I was trying to get at is, in the moments that I have been tasked with getting takeout, it's like, I'll set the scenario. Hey, babe, what do you want to have for dinner? Or do you want to go out? What do you want to do? And it's like, if say you guys are driving down the street, oh, there's Longhorn or whatever, fine. Like, I don't care. I really don't care. I'm very, guys, I'm very easy to get along with. Okay. But I have a problem when you're home and it's like, oh, just order Longhorn and go get it. Ah, there's something about those restaurants that I feel like I can't get takeout from Outback. Like, for the price of that shit, and then you get it home and it's just been like rolling around on on that, like, the hot styrofoam, and now it's starting to melt like a bloomin' onion rolling around in the bottom of this bag. It's just like, I think if you order from Outback, it should be 10% cheaper than it would be if you ate in the restaurant. Zoidberg approved. That's a bad Zoidberg. Approves. Yes, thank you, Suze. Nobody ever thumbs up coffee break. Please help my algorithm. That's bad. That's right, Chris. It's called Outback, not Inback. JRD says takeout from fast casual is always crap after 10 minutes. Yes, I'm not ordering crab legs from Joe's Crab Shack. Shout out E. We went to Joe's Crab Shack and taking it home. I'm not driving 30 minutes to my house with cold crab legs in the back seat that I paid $90 for. I can't. Thank you. Tell him, Shogun. Dakota says, "We want Outback. We have to drive to the city where the fancy people live." That's just me. Anybody else feel like that? JRD says, "Especially Outback, which has increased their prices by 50% over the last month." It's just rough out here, man. I mean, everything's expensive. So I just feel like if you want that, shit, I'll go. I'll make a steak. Like, it's grill season. I'll go out there and get busy, or let's just go. I'm not even just speaking for me and my experiences. It's just how I feel about like the convenience and the cost and the experience. That's like that good, bad, good, fast, cheap triangle. Like I just want to hit as many of those as possible. Shogun says if we're driving to the city, we're going somewhere better than Outback. And I'm not knocking those spots. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying. I haven't done that. Takeout from Miss Shirley's. Everybody loves Miss Shirley's. Shout out. Dakota says there's a diner looking place on the way to the city. I kind of want to try, but I'm also worried it's full of whites. Holy shit. I didn't know we were going there. Okay. We go to eat at Dick's. Dick is the place with a cool hangout. When I come to Seattle, we're going to Dick's Burger Stand. Jared D says, I wait for the local grocery to put crab legs on sale for $7. You're getting discount crab legs? Add a bag of shrimp, then make a seafood dinner for the fam with cheddar bay biscuits. Another Sir Mix-a-Lot hit. No, it's buttermilk biscuits. Cheddar bay biscuits. Oh man, that's so funny. So yeah, I wanted to get that off my chest because I just felt some type of way about that. Is that what they're doing out there? Yo, Reed Punk Taco, what up, Adam? Good to see you. Man, we're in overtime. Are you talking about Dick's Burger Stand? Are there more than one Dick's in Seattle? Shogun. Yo, Super D's in the chat. What up? Yo, Super D, coffee break starts at 9 EST. Where y'all been? Matt says Sue's figured out the code. Hold on. Oh, that was perfect. I called Shook and said, "There's like 6 Dicks in Seattle. You got options." Yo, where's Comic Tropes? Yo, Chris, you got to verify this. Chris Pierce, another P and Dub. You gotta verify how many dicks are out there. Yeah, I know, man. You ain't never lie. That's so funny. Yo, how did we get here? I'm sorry, Matt. Sue's figured out how to make Chipotle at home, and it's better than the restaurant. Does she wear the little hat? And does she like does the? I'd pay to see that. I'd pay to see Sue's make a fat burrito and then wrap it in that, swaddle it in a baby blanket of aluminum foil. Speaking of that, you guys, so much pause. Speaking of that, and I saw what you said, Bill. That's cool. Sue's report to the dance floor. I owe you a Sue's pose, babe. Adam said, Matt, does she charge you an extra 20 for the Glock? Yo, be respectful. Yo, that's a big AO. Guys, we haven't done this in a long time. The Waringos have not been on coffee break for some time now, but it's time to go in. I got to make sure my assets are ready. Always take care of your assets. I put my speaking of Chipotle, I put my hand upon my chip, then I dip, you dip, we dip. Oh, yeah, I stopped breathing for a minute. Yo, let it breath. Let it breath. Suze, nice. Good job. We did it, you guys. We did it. That was fantastic. Guys, yo, how do we get here? How did we get here? Yo, it's gonna be $20 for that video. Yo, prices going up because the rent is too damn high. Guys, before we get out of here, I want to do some stuff. Shout out to Newberry Comics. We repping New England tonight, you guys. I know that's something you don't hear from Philadelphians very often. I was thinking about my man Rob Stoll. Rest in peace, Rob Stoll. Started from the sip, and now we here. And my good buddy Rob Stoll repped Boston heavy. Shout out to Boston. I know Celtics are in a way right now. And we started off our last conversation talking about the Boston Philadelphia rivalry. The Celtics and the Sixers was a problem in the early to mid 80s. Dr. J and Larry Bird punching the daylights out of each other in the middle with some high ass shorts on. That's passion. And there's a picture, like this famous photo of like Dr. J like choking out Larry Bird, and Larry Bird's like putting his fist in Dr. J's nose. I love it. Yeah, the shorts is crazy. It's crazy work. Some diabolical shorts. But yeah, so a couple of weeks ago, it was like last month, I was in the home of the Ninja Turtles, Northampton, Mass. Hanging out with my man JJK, Jared Krasoska. There's no secrets with those ABA shorts. And while I was in town, I wanted to go see Mirage Studios. I heard that this old building that I think used to be a bank or something, that Eastman Laird and our good friends Jim Lawson, Eric Talbot, Dan Berger et al. Turned into the studio. But JJK was telling me that there are gargoyles. There's turtle gargoyles on the building, and I think there might be a sewer cap that has a TMNT logo on it or somewhere. But anyway, I stopped by Newberry Comics in Northampton, and I talked a little bit about this on my Patreon about how it was a great shop, but comics was like the last thing they had in there. But I got to represent when I come to your town. I'm a cop as shirt at least. So shout out to Newberry Comics. When I'm in Boston for the Reuben Awards, I'm going to try to check out the Boston one. I'm not putting that on the screen here. All right, you guys, I'm going to start wrapping this up. This was fun. I usually do this kind of like wrap up thing at the end, but I'm not going to. I feel like we talked enough. We had a lot of fun. Didn't know that we'd talk about hats, honeydew lists, eating out, pause, Sue's poses. We got it all in. And guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you are lurking, you have one more chance to identify yourself. Put yourself in the chat and say hello. Guys, we do this every other week, every fortnight. But on the other fortnights, you can catch that's honeydews and dicks. What a episode! This was a banger. You can see this and more on my Patreon. That's right. If you didn't get enough of me, way to get a load of me, you can head over to my Patreon where you can see every Monday or so. I try to do it on Monday. You get my MMC Monday Morning Constitutional, where only the Pacific Northwest contingent of my Patreon watch. I think there's a couple people that also watch it. If you need that good word, if you need to do a hard start on your Monday, come see me because I got the word for you. I got the scriptures for you. if I can be anything for you guys, I hope I can be an inspiration. I've said it before, but I also have a little asterisk on there. You know, people say things like, "If I could do it, you could do it." Well, I could do it. I don't know if you could do it. You do you, boo boo. But just know that you see me out here and doing it, making moves. Get out of your own way and make your own moves. Thank you so much, sweetie. Um, that's right. Jean-Luc Picard never disappoints. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate you. And you know what? I have lovely price points. I have free 99 FREE. Don't cost you nothing. Yo, Ronaldo, man, I got that Jeff the Shark. Thank you, brother. It's shining. I appreciate you. You know, I still owe you mail, right? I'm the worst, but you guys still love me. You know, I'm good for it. It's on its way. Hey, Ronaldo, how are you? Um, Guys, I've been doing this stuff for a long time. My Patreon's been around for 3 years, 4 years. I don't even know. And the community is so good. The community is so tight. It's so rich. Um, as Duke and company will tell you, my AMA podcast with Marvel and DC superstar artist Mike Hawthorne is worth the price of my Patreon by itself. Every other week, when I'm not doing coffee break, the next week I'm doing It Ain't Hard to Tell. We're up to almost, I think we're going to be at the 130th episode. And that archive is there for you. Just join today. Why don't you look at the look at the John down there? I'm not gonna say the doobly doo. Look at the John down there. Patreon.com/Jamar Nicholas. It's so easy. Too easy. Dakota says, I need to get you to do more accents. My Scottish accent wasn't bad, right? It was a really bad Sean Connery. McLeod. But yeah, it's all there for you. You support a working artist, and I appreciate that. And I get to focus my energy into people who actually want it. Everybody wins. Because I said a long time ago, I'm not going to just draw and just put shit on the internet, hoping somebody goes like this. Like, I have too much stuff to do. I would rather talk to my people, and I would rather my people know where I am. So consider it, you guys. Dusty Rhodes or the Midnight Rider. Dusty Rhodes suspended. that's not that's not that's the Midnight Rider. That's not Dusty Rhodes. You make me sick. Yes. Only this kind of inside joke content can you get with me, your best bud, JM. All right, guys, we went super long. Pause. Thank you, guys. Sue said good night, John Boy. Let's say some goodbyes, and I'm going to wrap this show up. Thank you so much. Oh, the Keeper of the Scrolls, JRD says, JN's Patreon started in September of 2019. Oh my gosh. And JRD, aka number one, my first patron. You're number one in my heart, JRD, if you will. Yeah, peace. Adam, good to see you, my man. I owe you an email. All right, guys, let's go home. Let's do the thing. You've been watching Coffee Break with JM, with your boy JM. Oh, shit, I have too much coffee in here. I got to hang out with my caffeines, and we chopped it up into a fine rough chop. And you know who you are, caffeines, friends and regulars of Coffee Break with JM. And guys, this is what it's all about. I needed this tonight. I think you needed it too. I go by many names. Philadelphia's favorite son. Yes, that is true. Also, this is for you, Ronaldo. John Cena. Also, I always got to look at the chat right at the end because somebody always gives me a good one. Johnny Carson. I haven't done that one in a while. Philly Donahue. That's for the Ringos. And you know, number one with the bullet, the captain of this show, the administrator of this facility. And the captain of the ship, Jean-Luc Picard. There are 4 Johns. What happened here tonight? Oh, can't forget that one. Oh no! Did I ever get you to accept John 117 because I love Halo? Yes, let's do that. What a great one. The Master Chief. Love it. Yeah, let's add that to the lexicon. What happened here tonight? You got to hang out with me and my buddies, and we watched me drink coffee and run my mouth. Now that I'm out of coffee, somebody wake up Hicks. We'll see you in 2 weeks.